Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Today we have a special video coming at you. Today we're going to do a mock run for a coaching session with a few oddballs thrown in. So please like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and enjoy. Please go to the comment section below. Let me know if this type of service is something that interests you. What I could do to improve, or what to do differently to help improve the service. This is a mock. It is my first time ever doing this. This is like take one. There is no practice. This is it. This is ground zero, and we're only building up from here. So normally doing this, I would have voice communication with the person that I'm doing this with. However, in this case, I just wanted to try it out. I'm super excited for it all. So I asked Alberto just to make a video, kind of highlight all the different aspects of his account, and then I can go over it, offer criticism. None of it is meant to be negative or a shot at him in any way. It's just criticism, constructive feedback. That's all that this is designed to be. There's nothing like, hey, you did something totally wrong. It doesn't matter. What matters is establishing where we are now and figuring out where we're going to go in the future. So I do apologize. This is going to be probably a little bit longer of a video, but let me know in the comments what you think about this. So I did take some notes. I watched the video once before this, and I took a bunch of notes so that I have a little bit of an idea of what's going on. So when we look at this, I asked Alberto what his primary focus is right now: Siege, PvP, Void. Like what is he trying to accomplish and progress the most in the game? I think for anybody, identifying that is fundamental. Without a goal, it's very hard to organize the journey or the small objectives to put together working down the line. At least that's how my mind works. I write treatment plans with individuals all day long, so we come up with a goal, and then it's a big goal, so then we make a smaller goal, and then we do pretty much daily things to make those goals happen. So I like to look at the big picture and then break it all down. And I also want to find out what races he is interested in playing, because that when it comes to chakra and or research, having a ballpark idea on certain races matters. So for example, I'll never be a good dwarf player until the end of time with research, because of the decisions in the past that I chose that stemmed from the very beginning of the game. So for Alberto, he said for now he's only focused on Sylph. PvP is his main focus since his server's in a war. So it looks like we're doing Sylph PvP. He'll have some options because Huntress's research transfers pretty well, and Tree's research transfer pretty well. Then Archers are kind of universal across all races, so it's nothing as drastic as like mech research, which really kind of pigeonholes you. So that's good. So let's jump on over, and this is the video that he made. So we'll go through. So right here we can see he's got almost 800,000 core power. If we look at the big picture, he's number 27th in the overall in the world. So he is a little bit behind the main people. I'm assuming that these guys, some of them are probably whales. Let's see where he stacks up overall. So he's castle level 33. This will matter when we look at hero levels. He's close to getting his next castle level, so that's good. Alright, so research, it looks like his first three, Huntresses, Archers, and Trees, are primary focus. I think that's a very smart way to go. Alright, so okay, good. As far as research, you can kind of get away a little bit, especially if you're trying to do more than 2 researches. By 7, 8, and 10 are somewhat skippable for army research. If you're focused solely on PvP, so being low in 8 is not a big deal for him. So that's not bad. All of the main combat ones are filled out for that. Under the archers, 8's low and 10's low, so he's looking fine. And trees, I'm going to assume, is the same thing. Okay, there's just a little pause here. Yeah, so 7, 8, and 10, you can get away with not maxing out if you're just going purely for combat effectiveness. You'll kind of hit a point where you need to go down to 2. So what I would ask Alberto is if he's focused primarily on PvP for self, then he'll end up wanting to focus huntresses above everything else eventually. Like as the researches progress up, once you're in 11, 12, 13, 14 tiers, definitely will want to focus wanting it and get it higher than the rest. But for right now, where his level and everything, he has a nice balance. All right, so he skipped. He skipped out on 8 and 10 for this. So his trims really aren't that far behind. His 9 could be maxed out. I'm pretty sure that research will give him bonus damage, or I'm pretty sure it's 20% to attack or something like that for tier 9. I don't have the whole thing pulled up in front of me. Mana worms, I'm not too concerned with this. We'll see after they get buffed. Maybe they'll matter. In Siege is pretty high. He's almost up to where the others are. So, like, even for this, he could go further in 9. 12 will. I think 12 is the one that offers the honor bonus. That one does matter. All right, hero research. So when it comes to Alberto with the army research, I don't know if I can go back to where they all pop up. Here we go. So for his army research, he's fine for his level. Once he starts getting into tier 11 and 12, he'll have to start making some decisions. So whether that's focus on 2 instead of 3 for the primary, so maybe he does huntresses and watchers or the archers. If he does that, he'll be in good shape for PvP. However, the tree is really beneficial for the void and or siege. So this is where the tough decisions start coming in, because eventually the research is going to take so long that it will be hard to keep up all 3. You can do it by sacrificing a little bit, but for Art of Conquest, to be a jack of all trades is very hard to do unless you're spending insane amounts of money. If you're a giant whale, you can be a jack of all trades. If you're not throwing out a ton of money, then it might be better to pick a niche and be that individual for the team. So food for thought, and that would be a really good conversation piece. All right, so let's go into the hero research now. Oops, all right, so we checked out that portion. All right, so for the hero research, I am happy to see that he's prioritized the mechanic and rogue. I think for lower levels, the mage research is not as important as anything else. The mech rogue is definitely priority, and I would also advise for gladiator and paladin to be secondary. General and sage, you can't go wrong with that, but he's castle level 33. What that essentially means is the focus is all about the hero specific or the race specific heroes. So if he's Sylph, that means Gan. That everything that benefits Sylph. So Gan, you'll want Vega up for the heal. The fundamental heroes, Cleo for the black hole. Along with that, and or after that, and or before that, the most important heroes is going to be all the DPS ones, especially as Sylph. So all the DPS ones primarily fall under Mechanic and Rogue. So I'm glad that he has this up the highest. As he levels up across the board and progresses in the game, the importance of gladiators and paladins becoming more tanky, that will become more and more important. So I would have that be the secondary. But let's check out the individual ones. So important or key research things here is research number 2 is it's 10 ranks, super easy to get. That offers 1 additional level. Tier 4 should always be maxed out. That lowers your bronze cap. So let's see what he has for the mages. All right, so he's fine there. I think if we go back, if he ever does get extra free time, maxing out tier 6 for all of them, it's only 30 ranks, so it's not that bad. It will offer combat stats. I forget which one the mage and necromancer offers. Pretty much, they're all relatively worth it, or they all are worth it. It's just a matter of getting up to that tier 30 for the 6th research. It benefits you overall for stats. If PvP is the focus, then I would get tier 6 for all of the different hero researches. So let's check out the mech rogue. So he's got 2, 4, and he's got 6 done. 8's getting up there. 8 will benefit him quite a bit, but 8 is also that takes 40 ranks. So he's almost there for 10. I'm not quite sure why he stopped on 10 while being within 2. That'd be a really good question for me to ask. I'm pulling up my hero research because I forget what tier 9 is. So tier 9 increases stamina, and for each one it increases the attack speed and everything. So honestly, I'd just finish off the tier 10. That way it's just done and over, and then go back to 9 and max that out. And hopefully soon you'll be able to start tier 11. For the general stage, he does have 2 and 4 done, so that's huge. 6 is also done, so that's awesome for the extra stats. That will help him out. 8, 9, and 10 has a couple, so he's not looking bad there. Under gladiator and paladin, 3's not done, so it's worth it. For these ones that are like 20 and under, it will take less than a day. Just bang them out. Get those final bonuses. He does have 4 done for the bronze and 2 for the extra level. And 6 is pretty far off, but that might take a couple days to give some bonus stats. If we go back and we look at everything for Alberto, I would say just finish off the tier 10. Maybe it's my OCD, but the 48 out of 50 bothers me. He doesn't have to do it. It's not that big of a deal, but it will just be done, and it will forever be done. And then after that, it would be up to him if he wants to finish off tier 9, because that's a pretty significant stamina boost for mechanics and rogues. That will offer a bunch of stats, at least a couple dozen. And he could do tier 9 and then go back and do the tier 6s for the other ones, because it only goes up to 30. Shouldn't take super long. That's up to him and what he feels comfortable doing. So now if we look at the temple, I think the primary thing to take away from his temple is he's working on getting the temple completely to tier 3. So for right now, he should just keep focusing on getting his entire temple up to tier 3. Like get that plus 1 up to plus 2. That's pretty quick to do. But if anyone's temple is not at plus 3ing the whole thing before even considering anything else, it should be the priority. He does have some runes, so that's good. Temple looked fine. For his garrison, he's got some huntresses. He's got a bunch of archers. And some trees and some shrooms. So what I can notice from his garrison is he is lacking a lot of melee support. Um, so if we look at it, that's 3, 4, 4, 6. So he's got like 26 packs of huntresses and maybe 8 trees. That's not much for the melee portion of his garrison. So I'd recommend keep stuffing in melee into the garrison. The archers look fine. The shrooms look okay. I wouldn't worry too much about shrooms. You can actually rush those for free in a power event. He could go lich and create mummies, gold mummies, and then convert them into shroom lords. So at any point in time, if he ever feels like he needs more shroom lords during a power event, he can do that. So I would not prioritize the shroom lords in there. We can get a quick peek at everything that he does have. So not much honor, that doesn't matter. Troop rush, keep building that up. For the building rush, he should keep stockpiling this until it's at a point where he has Magister, he's on a research tile, he has all of the necessary buffs. Don't use it otherwise, unless it's like, you're just shaving off a few minutes to finish the rush. And yeah, and everything else looks good. Oh, okay, he must be saving up for void heroes. I gotcha. All right, so let's check out the next aspect. I think the next aspect is lifetime honor. So he's at 2.5 million honor. I forget it. Maybe we will see it in a few as far as potions and everything else. He should be focusing on building up honor, especially once we start looking at equipment and everything else. The honor will your honor has a direct correlation to how many flawless divines and/or divines you have. So if he's Sliff, then hitting the Lich Towers will get him pretty good yields with honor. He could always switch to human and hit Dwarf Towers if he wanted to, even for a day or during an honor event. So, but that number, we definitely have to get higher. I wouldn't compare honor to other people in your kingdom. I would not rate yourself as number 4 in the kingdom. Honor is very personal. It's you against you. So keep getting that up as you can. But it's not bad. In the Void, we're on stage 94. So that what that tells me is we have the Masonic Scepter, or we have a very good chance of getting the Masonic Scepter. And yeah, so stage 94, that's good. He is progressing pretty well. Tactics School. Alright, Dragon Abyss, we're at 281. When he does go to the Dragon Abyss, he'll need the proper setups and to switch to human race. That's probably the biggest thing for that. And now when we look at the dragon, so we have 1 purple here, and we have Noble Blood. So Noble Blood's very good, and that one's pretty high level. We do have Fortitude. So it looks like he has 3 purples, Noble Blood, and Greater Humanoid. As long as he can keep infusing this dragon and getting those up, he should be in good shape. That's a good dragon. Keep infusing, keep getting it up. And so we got the blessed yellows dragon. Awesome, man. Someday that's going to be super useful for you. And the other one is okay. So this is the current research build one. All right, cool. So he does have the second dragon. So every time he does queue up for building and/or research. All right, so now I'm looking forward to my favorite part, the heroes. So we rifle through real quick. We can see I think this is for his okay, we can actually see it right here. So he's saving up the void tokens to get Nora, the smart, and when it comes to his stats, this must be his queuing up stats. He's at almost 1600 command. That's not bad at all. And if we go back, okay, there we go, 1200 and 1400 for minus stamina. All right, so Fenris, biggest changes. I would drop this bow and put in the great bow for the plus 30% attack speed boost when you can. I would not make that a priority. That's a low priority, but I would make that switch when you can afford it. There's other bigger things we need to worry about before then. All right, so his Fenris is fine. Fenris started prioritizing his level. There's 12 heroes that Alberto has that needs to get prioritized for leveling. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. He has 10 heroes that he just needs to stop touching altogether, and 12 that he needs to focus on. So Fenris, at least get Fenris up to 40. We can take another look at all of these afterwards. So this is Sprig. I would start getting Sprig up as well. He will benefit your archers. Once you hit cast level 34, you'll be able to get Sprig to 45, so that you can get 8 out of 9 bow mastery and everything else because you have that research. Doesn't look like a bad setup. So yeah, this bow on Sprig, I would put that onto Fenris. Alright, so Balrog, he has the Teutonic Axe, which is cool. That's not a bad Balrog setup, all considering. But Balrog is also 31, so he's not going to tank a bunch. Balrog's setup is fine. Now we have Bane, and alright, so this was the biggest thing I was looking at, was for the Barbaric Blessing, 5 out of 4. So he's not going to get any higher on the Barbaric Blessing. So in my opinion, until you get your rogues and Jax along with Gan maxed out, I wouldn't touch Bane anymore. I'd leave him where he is. You're getting the most you can out of him for stamina. Just leave him. Yeah, 178 stamina, that's not bad. Talk, if you are using a turtle often, then I would work on talk after you get those DPS heroes up. If you're not using a turtle, or if turtle's out of your realm of possibilities, then forget about talk for now. Denji's got the 7 out of 9 powerful physique. That's probably the biggest thing for PvP and winning stats right now. And he does have the flawless Teutonic Axe. That is solid overall. I do like that Denji. All considering your cast level 33, that's beautiful Denji. I would stop touching Denji until you get your DPS heroes maxed out and your Gan maxed at a minimum. So Yip. Yip's a tough one to work in there. My Yip's still low level. So this Tailwind ability is massive because it will affect his Sylph archers. It will affect Mako and Sprig's damage. So I would put some focus on Yip to get him up. At least to get him to 30 will take like a quarter of a day's worth of experience. He's that close anyways, and you'll get an extra point. Once you're done with your DPS heroes and everything else, bump him up to 40 or so, either 40, 45. That will help you out. Mako, 4 in crackling shot, 7 killer instinct, and Eagle Eye's got 7. Alright, so his Mako's not bad. And 4 items. Alright, so Mako should be fine. He's got the great bow on. His Mako's fine. As soon as you get the crafting piece that drops in the void for the +1 to Eagle Eye, I think, make one of those, you'll be in good shape. Jax's setup is awesome. You can actually get your Jax to 44 right now because you have the tier 2 research done. So your Jax could actually be 44. I would focus that honestly before doing anything else. And if we go back to, if we go back to Mako, I would put Mako right up there next to Jax. After level 40, Mako is just going to become stronger and stronger. So I would take advantage of that. So keep leveling up Mako, keep him right there with Jax. But yeah, your Jax you can get up there now. So we got Jax is always a bit of a funny one to look at. Oops, there we go. So we got 1 in Firestorm. That's totally fine. That can help you out. Very situational. Great 1 point. We have 0 in Rocket Launcher. I'm very happy about that. That's a good place to be. I'd be very disappointed if we had any in Mech Expert, which we don't. So expanded ammo's up, double charge, spray and pray. You're in pretty good shape with your Jax. Keep doing what you're doing with Jax. Feel free to put the skill cards onto him, max him out, and as you level him up, keep going with double charge, expanded capacity. Both of those 2 skills, the double charge and the ammo, you'll be able to level up in 32 hours because your castle will be castle level 34 in 32 hours, if I remember correctly. And that being said, you have the tier 2 research done, so you can get +1 level. So your castle will be 34 soon, which means you can get your Jax to 45, which means you can up the double charge, up the expanded capacity. Gafgar, his skills are all over the place, but honestly, for where you're at right now, you're not going to place Gafgar in the field. He's just not worth it. You're going to give up a free moral win. He's level 19. I would not put any more points into Gafgar. Gafgar is a really great tank for later on in the game once you get the hero research. Once you can afford to dump a bunch of EXP cards into him, but I mean our Jax and Mako aren't even maxed out yet. So Gafgar should be off the table. His gear looks good though. And Grim. So, okay, Grim has a decent setup for Siege. Okay. Grim doesn't look bad. Grim looks fine. It looks like you know what you're doing with your Grim, so that's fine. Rose is another one that I would just leave alone for now. And the focus for your crafting should be to get everything to divine. So I would just focus on, and I'm sure that you're aware of this, Alberto. But the focus, don't worry about getting flawless gear right now. Just get divine gear on all of your characters for all of the spots, unless it's like a Gan's Nature's Blessing book or something like that. But I'd focus on that. but your Rose looks fine. Warwick's, we'll just skip him. Warwick's can be good once your mage research is done and stuff, but I'd just skip him. So Cleo, eventually I would recommend getting Cleo to 45 so you can get the 5 out of 5 for her black hole. I would not set that as a giant priority. You'll get a little bit more CC out of it, but it should not be the priority until all of your DPS heroes are done and your race-specific heroes are done. Rod of Justice, this is a beautiful item until you can get a the Sage set from the Dragon. So Rod of Justice on Cleo is a great opener. That will help you out in the Void tremendously. The book can go on her or on Avril or on the Fire Mage or on Vega. There's a lot of options for the book. Wherever you feel the most comfortable. Gazul does not matter for you. Do not put any more points into Gazul. And if you are using your archers, don't use the spec that has the moral collapse. I think it's right here. Whoops, it's coming right up. So I just missed it. But the Fearsome Aura, your spec one has Fearsome Aura, so don't use Gazul. PvP, don't even place them. All right, so Tiernan, keep going with the Aura of Retribution and Divine Light as well. And under the items, you have a couple of options. Option number one for PvP, especially if you're going to fight Lich. As Lich will become more popular, there's a few things to do for her. One, I think it's the Hammer of Zeal. It drops in the Void. You may or may not have it. It's a weapon. It offers additional damage to summoned troops by 200%. That's a very good weapon for Tiernan versus spiders because that will offer a bunch of extra damage to the little baby spiderlings. Or you could go with the Teutonic Axe if you wanted her to live a little bit longer. Or you can go with the weapon that does 30% more damage to undead. I'm blanking on the name right this second, I'm sorry. There is one other option if you are fighting a lot of Lich and or you're going to take the honor advice and go siege some Lich towers. And that is putting the Hammer of Zeal or whatever that weapon is. It looks like a giant hammer that offers 200% more damage to summoned troops. And then for Tiernan, you can use the legendary set, the legendary craftable, not the divine, just the gold legendary one. Having that equipped will increase damage to undead units by 30%. This stuff I would not prioritize. I would prioritize getting divines on all of your heroes. But something to keep in your mind as Lich becomes more and more popular. And of course that item that just for Aura of Retribution, that's a trinket. I would make one of those and put that on her as well. Don't level up Tiernan until you get your others done, but then I would absolutely get her up to 40 if not 50, especially if the Lich meta takes off. Alright, so the next one is Gan. So Gan, it must be that we don't have the stats or the drop piece yet, because I think this is the second Dreamweaver's helmet. Once you do get that, I'm sure you're going to make it. I'm glad that you have the book on him. If there's a higher command item for your weapon spot, I would run with that because Gan's command is a little low. Alright, Twisting Thorns is fine. Tree Mastery is okay. We're getting there. Earthquake's fine, and Nature's Blessing 5 out of 5. So basically for Gan, for right now, you'd rush him to 45. Gan should be your #1 priority. As soon as you get your next level, your cast level 33 right now, as soon as you hit 34, you can get Gan to level 45. Once Gan hits 45, I believe that's the point that Nature's Blessing gets maxed out. It's either 40 or 45. I forget. I want to say it's 45. You want Nature's Blessing maxed out. You want to get that 6 out of 5. So drop what you're doing with heroes, do Gan, then do Jax, then do Mako. Virion, stop leveling Virion. He's fine. He's got his bubble. Gear looks okay. Lunella, oh geez, I haven't done her spotlight yet. No comments on Lunella. Alright, so Vega is another one that when you can afford to get her to 45, get her to 45 because you'll have her maxed out healing. With Vega and with Cleo, you do not need to go higher than 45. You can leave them at 45 until way down the line. But I would prioritize getting Vega up there. Your gears look fine. Of course, get the armor. Once you get that, you have the trinkets, so you're in good shape, and you have double healing, so she's in good shape. Cool, we have the saving lives on her. Elena, geez, Elena is another one that we got to get up there in levels. So Elena is super easy to level. What I mean by that is on one of your specs, spec 2, hopefully this is your primary spec. Switch spec 1 so that you have ready and willing maxed out, and only use EXP cards on Elena while you have ready and willing maxed out. Honestly, she's another one that I would bring to 45 as soon as possible for the max magic resist. Magic resist is so important now. If you're fighting against Lich, you'll need it. If you're fighting against Sylph, you'll need it. Since the Sylph archers deal double damage to rooted things and half of that's magic. So luckily she's pretty fast to level up simply because of the ready and willing. I think once it's maxed out, it's like actually 120% EXP, which is huge. So if she's level 32 right now, you'll still get a significant boost from ready and willing. So just make sure that you have that set up when you level her up. But I'd do that sooner rather than later. Avalon. Okay, we have another spec for him. Okay, good. So we do have the Aura. Alright, so we do need to fix Avalon. You can drop the Archer Mastery unless you go human for reasons. Or an alternative is to add more skill points through the skill point cards. You want his Aura to get to 7 out of 9 since he is level 40, and get his Warhorn 7 out of 9 as well. The Archer Mastery does not affect Sylph at all, but the HP boost to the Archers does, and also Warhorn absolutely does. For him, I leave him at 40 or maybe 45 for right now. Fire Mage, forget about her until you're castle level 40 or so and you can afford to do some hero research. Unfortunately, for mages are extremely strong. And if you watch videos, you can see Avril put out a ton of damage, and or the Fire Mage put out a ton of damage. But the reality is, unless you're maxed out on things or have super high mage research, it's just not going to work out super well. So I would definitely advise to just forget about her for the next 7 levels, like castle levels. Your Avril is awesome, man. She's level 40. Again, I would leave Avril where she is. Leave her at 40. Get your main DPS up. And get Jax and Mako max out. Get Fenris up. Those 3, Fenris, Mako, Jax, and Sprig, they all benefit from your 230 hero research right now. You have 79 in the mages. Forget about the mages. As much fun and diversity that they add into the game, it's just not worth it right now. You'll get to the point. You really will. You will get to the point where it matters. But for right now, it's out of our realm. Gear looks fine. So we have some extra gear in here. Okay, he's showing me pretty much like the siege setup. So he's got the +1 for rapid cast. He should have the hat for +1 to glacial shard. All right, he does, and then he has the frost one. Rufio, same thing. Forget about Rufio. Don't bother leveling him up. Leave him where he is. I'm glad that you have strong physique max out with him. Get that extra stamina. Other than that, forget about him. So just a quick recap. This is exactly what I would focus on for heroes right now. So get the pen and paper handy. So do not put anything into these champions. No EXP at all. Rufio, Avril, the Fire Mage. Lunella, maybe. No more into Virion. Hold off on Tyrion. Gazul, forget about him. Not at all. Warwick's, forget about him. Stop doing Rose. Forget about Gafgar. Denji, hold him where he is. In Bane, you're already getting the most out of Bane that you can for right now. All of those guys, just no EXP until all of these other ones are done and or higher up and or you're higher level and you have more points into those types of hero researches. 4 priorities for right now. Before you do anything, see, right here we got 32 hours until we hit castle level 34. Because he has the tier 2 hero research maxed out, that means that we can do the start getting heroes to level 45. That opens up a whole new world. As Aladdin was saying, it's a brand new world. So that means the top priorities that we should do right now is get Gan from 35 to 45. That's number 1. Before doing anything, get Gan up. You'll get +1 more into Nature's Blessing. Overall, for your Sylph army, that's going to help you out the most. After getting Gan up, I would do Elena, to be honest. She's level 32 right now. If you do the ready, willing, and able, just get her to 45. It won't take long at all. She'll be done pretty much forever. At 45, you're going to get the most out of her that you can. Leave her at 45, set her up so that you can get the magic resistance. Get the +1 magic resistance armor for her. You want that to be 6 out of 5 as soon as possible. So Gan, do Elena. You don't have to do Elena second, but it will help you out. If you're struggling with dragon runs, then definitely do the Elena. From there, get Jax to 45. That way you can get the +1 to the double charge and expended ammo. And then start looking at bringing, in your choice, you can do it however you want, but then start doing Vega, start doing Yip, Mako, and Sprig and Fenris. I would put those as the next 5 to really focus on. So that's Mako, Sprig, Fenris, Yip, and Vega. Vega is another one. Once you get her to 45, you're done. Now, important to note, the easiest hero in the game to level up is Elena because of her skill ready, willing, and able. All of your magic heroes, anybody that can equip a staff, there is a blue staff. I'm blanking on the name right now. I'm looking at the same screen that we're looking at right now, by the way. So where I'm moving around the most, that's all that I see. There is a staff, and when it's equipped, you get plus 20% EXP from combat or whatever. That applies to EXP cards. So if you're using the EXP cards on any of your heroes that can equip a rod or a staff, put that on. That will save you 20%. It will make it that much faster and more effective. So that would be the Vega, Yip, um, when you do Clio and etc. Um, and then yeah, for the gladiators, hold off on them until you get your main DPS and your race specific heroes up. All right, so we're going under items. Wait, hold on a second. I want right here. Okay, so you have a ton of EXP cards already. So yeah, work on get Gan up. When you do Gan, make sure you equip that item. It's a blue item. It's a staff. Offers 20% more EXP. Throw that on Gan. Start leveling your Gan up. All right, so we got a chakra there. We got some crafting stones. And I think we go into to look at chakra and heroes and hero levels. So his huntresses are almost rank 7 across the board, so that they're actually in really good shape for PvP. The archers, I'd start working on the archers, especially if you plan on using them. If you're not planning on using them long term, then don't worry about it. And then the trees. So okay, cool. The trees are rank 4, so he gets additional damage reduction. So that's awesome. And then the rest aren't. So yeah, make sure you do your dailies every day without failure. Do your dailies every day. Do everything with the dragons. Always use your dragon. You never want anything maxed out. You want to keep using it down. So if you have 5 out of 5 of the dragons, every moment that you have that you're wasting. Log in, get your abyssal loot. Don't worry about going too hard on the honor right now, but be aware that you do want to keep working on your honor so you can get better gears. For where you're at right now, and actually anywhere going forwards, better gears gives you better stats, which will let you win PvP. I just want to go back into the items, see if he has any stat cards. I don't see any stat cards, but I do see some skill cards, so he can use those on Jax, on Avalon, to get up those key skills. For Elena, because she's going to end up needing the 5 into magic resist real soon. So yeah, get Gan to 45 before anything else. Put on that item to get him up. Followed up with Jax. From there, start working on Mako, Sprig, Fenris, Vega, Sprig? Did I say Sprig? I'm not sure. I said it before. So it should all be there. Once you get those guys up there, you'll be in much better shape. For the heroes that we said, stop doing everything with them. Add the stat cards if you have extra stat cards. Keep working on the mech rogue research. I think you're doing great there. You have a good balance with your army research right now, so good job with that. I don't know how long you'll be able to keep that up for, so start thinking about consolidating down to 2, or what your main 2 focus troop types would be, followed up with the 3rd. So if we go by your chakra, it looks like huntresses and trees are your 2 biggest priorities, with the 3rd being archers. Think about that if you have to change races, because balances come out. So just be aware of that and kind of have a little bit of an open mind with that. For the hero research, keep working on the mech rogue. Tier 9, once you're done with that for the mech rogue, consider doing I think it's tier 6 for the extra extra stats for your characters. And yeah, pretty sure that's everything. Stay on top of your dragon and keep going. You're not in bad shape. We just got to focus. I think overall, if I had to diagnose this account in Alberta with all of your hard work, you're doing awesome. You really are. The biggest things that we have to work on is getting the right heroes up in level. I think that's the only thing that's holding you back right now. Is focusing on the right heroes to progress in the levels. So I'm pretty sure I said it a couple times. Feel free to go back and hear the suggestions on what to focus on for the heroes, and which heroes to not focus on for a while. And what we can do is in a couple months do this again and see the progress, and maybe it will finally be time that we can bring Rufio up to 50. So yeah, good job, Alberto. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a slight variant on diagnosing an account, or kind of going through one with a coaching standpoint. Granted, Alberto was not here to actually talk with, so some of the stuff I'm just kind of pouring information out like no tomorrow. Well, please let me know in the comment sections what was helpful in this, what was not helpful, what I could do better. Hit me with the criticism. Criticize the coach. Tell me what I need to do better, what I should focus more on. Yeah, give me some feedback. Is this a service that you guys would even be interested in? So with that, guys, that is today's video. I'm going to go treat myself to a bottle of water because I'm going to lose my voice. It was wonderful to do. It is interesting to look at a different count, and yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. So please like, subscribe, and come back for more soon, guys.